Sorry I'm late. I got into an altercation, speed racing, when this guy decided Black Lives Matter and just had to drag race, and then my brother got tased in the fucking face and I lost my spaceship and license to pilot. Free my brother, Jason. Let's get it. Yeah. Mark, I'm afraid that the end has came. Sorry that it went so quick and stopped so abruptly, but I had to be the one to hit the brake lights as reluctantly interrupting your recent reign and run of luck in the game seemed like self-destructing. Now that I'm situated, the picture painted is gauged in. I'm a breakdown irrelevant rappers with the same sound the internet didn't mention and touch down with infrared beam in the depictions to rip and tear any who they swear in until there is nothing but tattered pieces of paper scattered about to declare they were ever even there to begin with. I'm a paper mache shredder master craftsman talking about the big head on the screen. I'm not the Power Ranger to play with when I'm angered by stranger things. That means I manage manger scenes. I'm likely to black out when the power's down with these demonstrations I leave. Looks like the dark ages when I go cuckoo. That's truly a Super Saiyan to me. And if you're not in range of my aggravation, then when I target locations on my map, Kamehameha, basically, it'd be too apparent that my energy just sank your battleship. This is like date night, the way I'm taking him out. No doubt about it. People are strange when you're a stranger. I know more of sin behind closed doors, of course, if you pay it forward as it's afforded to them. Their morals deform into morbid forms of torture and mayhem. I'm torching this kid like a jungle gym fire on the playground, blazing his J fast and hit his ass with a black like a boom bat beat being brought back to wreak havoc on rap again. It's fish in a barrel grazing, so I'll be a huckleberry, but fuck the white like I despise them. This fight constantly saying to Caucasians, it's unfair when I'm swearing. I swear like Doug Hunt time. Mario is ass too close to be frontin' now when I blast. I'm just saying, past a pasture where a pastor pastors it over the narrow path wherein a scarecrow prepares souls at. There is a winding path of peril lies and lines that reside inside this multi-syllable disability fair and designs colliding with double time is outshining what's underlying. It's overbearing about the narrative in his raps. Loop it, lap it, then repeatedly run it back. Listen with a little smidgen of wisdom within when it's still intact, and you just might catch an instance of a plot twist you missed a few thought experiments back at the genesis of this. It's time to let the grays in. I've been awaiting their arrival since Belial invented the cycle with the indigenous Mayan cavemen. If I divided Jim and I got half of the mind, I'd try to sacrifice and sterilize the lives of every man, woman, and child during our final invasion and blame it on aliens in Korea, not even sparing the rod man can save them. You can gauge the range I'm deranged with the rage trips, and it takes shift as bar trip drops drip, and then it hits with a good God sent while the weight lift breaks light like his will, and that's when you fold. Even Atlas had to have practice at this, or at least so I'm told. You fucked up though, Mark. What hope is there for smoke with a token stone known for throwing rolling rocks at the Godhead's throne? Standing stoic amongst a bunch of punk-ass pieheads all on his own. You woke a sleeping Goliath-sized giant eye view from a view as new to no sheep or shepherd keeper. Better yet, Leviathan might find it askew to ask if duration collapse and raps lapsing is actually new. I don't know if I actually knew, but the heightened height behind a mighty titan likely frightened the better half of this lad's capacity to fight it. And I know a Arca technically it's better to protect your neck if you're wet next to Poseidon. All the while wiling like a call to the wild, defiled from vile blasphemy. No need for two of each type of trap. He probably doubted and then doubled up a couple hundred fucks back and hasn't given a singular one back actually. I land with the force of a dead-eye Jedi. Mind tricks when triggered, trend set, and set shit that sets in with no end to the pin's complexity. In my right hand, I hold Thor's hammer. Low-key, brother, I got a door slammer on the other hand, and the gadgets go mechanically. When I disconnect chords with the quill feather and metaphors, metamorph evidence is manifested and successfully formed in the present form as a present for him, like a man of war that can teleport, headed for shore with the weather ever worsening up ahead of me unexpectedly, like the first sighting of the Norse Viking. The banter is all I'm left with to settle scores, but I'll let the horns prove my point successively. Recklessly, I traverse forth. I hope you whores are ready for what's next, the secret family recipe. Give me pita bread or give me death. Anubis' plan is, well, it better be a development with expertise. Better yet, dude, after a battle rap sabbatical, I'm coming back to tackle this bastard Mark directly. With a classical spark, and a rare form more deplorable to bear porn than I could bear to prepare for sexually. Do not pass go. Do not collect dollars. Especially if I miss the mark with this target marker, Mr. Mark, taking shots with the maker's mark, playing keep away with the spirits it harbors regarded as source. Better make it matter with a maverick American charm, gathered to fracture the actual fractal patterns of rapture passion. Unraveling the fabric of these weekend travelers is packing it in. The back-end gatherings, the lunar landing in Europa, a little longer than a reason to hang around this planisphere any longer than expected. Understandably, it's over the heads of some who come from under other situations where their intuition simply isn't equipped to understand the latter correctly. Oversensitivity, my dick. Instability is the brittle little feminine spitter's identity, instrumentally being depicted as a figment of a fictitious imagination, fascinating emphatically. In disguise, guys, is denied a prize, the rival for innovative mitigation. A rival uprising is enticing the likes of the rebel confederation. I despise what I'm describing. The mechanics upscale, developing the intangibles of animals and humanity. I'm Ready for another Mark, and this bargaining chips targeted the market for him professionally. You restarted prehistoric wars, mores recorded in the Pantheon, coinciding with a secret longevity behind lethargic Darwinian caveman specimens for decades telekinetically. I'm regarded as an artist and artisan. When the art is in the process of being reprocessed, you're arguing with a gargoyle hardening. For my next trick, be still until I finish this self-honoring vanity. Think hard-headed. I'm far from bottom-feeding if we eating with no discrepancy, especially to vegan delicacies. He bar-fed, and I'm throwing it up already. A breath of electric white light sparkling from beneath me, the skill of a blind shot in the dark. I'm well regarded as a bully like Beauregard, the Carter IV, and the Departed ending, regretfully neglecting my intangibles, damageable advantages, theoretically bandageable, harboring intelligence via intelligence stored in the cellar storage bin, separately. Compelled extraterrestrial vessels to travail interstellar and conceptually correct Mandela effects of exoskeleton entrails, upscaled and inhalants. I take inhale directly, disabling the capabilities of stable surveillance cameras that did have the advantage of detecting me effectively. Undetected. Even Paul the Apostle would be appalled at the hypocrisy. It was unexpected, but I'm past the play of passing a plate to make an offer or offering a helping hand to cross basic crusades. But if I cross down and gave your crucifix, it'll be my namesake that saves you. Does river Styx drift away from me? Not necessarily. Even though I'm stoned, I stand strong like sandstone, about facing Jim, and I really might go fish if I get mixed up with another chick that's Pisces. All I see is demonic personifications. Malay blades, filleting lambskin, that's melanin, or Nelson Mandela related for laying incense, oscillating at astonishing rates to compensate accommodations while you postulate the cost is the loss of this awesome vibration, wallowing in the mire, firefighter, binding findings in the wire from Starship. I admire the conservation, but my condensation is an apocrypha of Tupac doctrines in concert with apocalyptico qualifications, non-specific racial discrimination, persona conditions, predictive addictions, encrypted, grip
what the
shirts,
fuck was I talking about?
Like the first sighting of the North Viking, the banter is all I'm left with to settle scores, but I'll let the devil horns prove my point successively. Recklessly, I traverse forth. I hope you whores are ready for what's next, the secret family recipe. Give me pita bread daily or give me death. And then let it be. Anubis plan better be development with expertise. Better yet, dude. After a battle rap sabbatical, I'm coming back to tackle this bastard Mark directly with a classical spark and a sharpened tip with a rare form more deplorable than bear porn than I could bear to prepare for sexually. It does not pass go, then it does not get to collect dollars if I miss the mark with this target marker, Mr. Mark, taking shots with the maker's mark, play and keep away with the spirits it harbors regarding its source. What's deplorable in the force and the form I'm forcing better make it matter with a maverick American's charm. Backtracking, gathered to fracture the actual fractal patterns of rapture passion, you backpacking faggot, unraveling the fabric of your weekend traveling asses, packing in the back end gatherings is what I rap for. A lunar landing in Europa a little longer than a reason to hang around this planisphere, fearing the plan any longer than expected. Understandably, it's over the heads of some who come from under other situations where their intuition simply wasn't equipped to understand the latter correctly. Oversensitivity, my dick, inevitably. And this brittle little feminine spitter's identity I'm instrumentally depicting, it's just a figment of a fictitious imagination, fascinating emphatically. In disguise, guys, is denied a prize arrival for innovative mitigation. A rival uprising is enticing the likes of a rebel confederation. I despise what I'm describing. The mechanics upscale, developing the intangibles of animals and humanity. Another mark and bargaining chip targeted the market for him professionally. You restarted prehistoric wars, mores recorded in the Pantheon, coinciding with a secret longevity behind lethargic Darwinian cavemen specimens for decades telekinetically. I'm regarded as an artist, scientist, mathematician, and artisan, barman. When the art is in the process of being reprocessed, you're arguing with a gargoyle hardening. For my next trick, be still until I finish with this self-honoring vanity. Think hard-headed. I'm far from bottom-feeding. If we eating with no discrepancy, then I'm eating disrespectfully. Whatever's in front of it next to me, especially to vegan delicacies, he bar-fed and I'm throwing it up already. A breath of electric white light sparkling from beneath me, the skill of a blind shot in the dark in 2020. It's 03. I'm well regarded as a bully like Beauregard, the Carter IV, and the Departed end, regretfully neglecting my intangibles, damageable advantages, theoretically bandageable, manageable bandages, well, inevitably harboring intelligence via intelligence stored in a cellar storage bin separately was my destiny. Compelled extraterrestrial vessels to travel interstellar and conceptually correct Mandela effects of exoskeleton entrails upscaled into inhalants. I take inhale directly, disabling the capabilities of stable surveillance cameras that did have the advantage of detecting me effectively. Even Paul the Apostle would be appalled at the hypocrisy. I'm past the play of passing a plate to make an offer to offer a helping hand to cross basic crusades. But if I cross town and gave your crucifix, it'll be my namesake that saves you. Does river Styx drift away from me necessarily? Even though I'm stoned, I stand strong like sandstone, about facing Jim, and I really might go fish if I get mixed up with another chick that's Pisces. All I see is demonic personification. Malay blades, belaying lambskin, that's melanin or Nelson Mandela related for laying ensign, oscillating at astonishing rates to compensate accommodations, while you postulate the cost is the loss of this awesome vibration, wallowing in the mire, fire, fighter, binding findings in the wire from Starship. I admire the conservation, but my condensation is an apocrypha of Tupac doctrines, in concert with apocalypto qualifications, non-specific racial discrimination, persona, consolidates conditions, predictive addictions encrypted in this shit filled with conflicting indoctrination. Save a hoe, bay, and the whore wants me to behave in seashore. I can. You'll be wasted by the final trump. It's safe to say you pale in comparison like a Caucasian broad in the promised land. And comparisons made in enactment. Alaska had to retract its statement to instigate the advocation of activists that disable this unstable nation. I don't know a hoe politician. I'd offer my honest consultation. Tell her to hand me my cane, and after I raise the roof of this house, it moves to legislation. I'm over the top of the hill, a reincarnation of JFK. Down to the specifications, my awesome bars may cause a Nelson Mandela effect in the way we take in observation, but beyond the embodiment of centrifugal force is just material visualization. And it's not a positively charged operation. One day they say, he won. Listen again and then offer the opposite. When the composite discharged common sense commenced a Super Saiyan again, unless you're a simple-minded, stupid guy, you could sense I wasn't common with the bars from the start of this conversation all the way to the end. I had no clue that the day we'd finally meet, beef between us would grow from the start. Defeat'll be a COVID if the GoPro slow-mo shows Waldo. When I go in, I got a leg up on the competition, but it belongs to his old girlfriend. But I'm not feeling generous with the body ahead, so I'm afraid this gonna cost her the arms instead. For a simple cost her common sense remark, written backwards with no clear indication of where to start. To start with, you're a new lost boy like a Kevin Costner foster kid. But before I jet, I welcome you to the dark side again, into the mind of a smarter version of Darth Vader. It's hard to make a living as a crusader in this modern civilization, and that's how we made our mark and made our way in, all the way back to the brake lights we came in to begin with. It's safe to say it's no simple decision when tasked with taking sides. Either way, he'll pay the price of my decisive decision and all of its independent implications. See, bro, we just not the same like you might think. I'm a wise alien who came on a sound wave through space, time. What?